Tvori is very powerful, more powerful than you know. My movie Carbon Seed is 90% made using Tvori. I started my career as a filmmaker and designer 20 years ago. I first got into 3D character animation with a software called Poser 3. It was a hard learning process for me because I did not have access to most of the tools and equipment necessary for speedy learning that we have today. But I would not exchange any day of those 20 years because it's been a long process, yes, but it's also enabled me to really be tested, and it's enabled me to benefit from the steep learning curve. And ultimately, I have become a much better animator. Regardless of how you start, your passion sees you through. My passion saw me through all those times. It's a process which I would recommend to every up-and-coming animator. You have to kind of learn the basics before you can go all out into making any type of meaningful production. The reason why I have chosen VR modeling and animation as opposed to your regular mouse and keyboard 2D type of animation is because of the uniqueness of virtual reality. A software like Tvori, for example, whenever I'm building a scene, or I'm importing my characters from other VR software, it enables me fill in the shoes of the character I'm trying to animate. I'm not just looking at a flat screen now, I'm literally within that space. And it's a different ball game. I get to see the environment. I get to analyze which camera angles will be the best. And I'm also able to visualize the eventual output. It's a very wonderful, almost surreal process. But I thank God and thank the universe for making it possible for tools like this to exist. You see, a lot of artists are frightened because of the steep learning curves that most of these 2D applications and software provide. Tvori is extremely, extremely intuitive. I'm not just saying this, you can pick it up and check it for yourself. It's extremely intuitive, and it provides an opportunity where you can become a child again. That it enables me to become that child I once used to be, playing with Legos and Play-Doh and my action figures, and my sets, and I'm able to recreate these things. Now, not only am I able to recreate these things, I'm also able to compile all of them and make them into a production which I can share with other artists and non-artists alike. It's indispensable. You would be cheating yourself and doing yourself a disservice if you ignore this wonderful tool we've been given. Okay, let me just go out straight and say it. It's like magic. I feel like a sorcerer, like a wizard who gets to use this software, this application, and it inspires me to want to make more movies. Tvori it's come a long way from the very onset. I'm using the Pro version, which enables you texture your characters, create custom characters, texture your environments and bring them in. And you have the first-hand view perspective of seeing how your scene is going to turn out. My movie Carbon Seed is 90% made using Tvori. Tvori enables me create my compositions, my scene compositions. I'm able to place my characters, and because I don't yet have a motion capture suit, and the introduction of inverse kinematics into Tvori makes me really create some pretty organic, realistic looking character animations. This is very beautiful. And being in virtual reality, I'm able to see these characters animated from multiple perspectives, almost at the same time. So I compose my scenes in Tvori. I animate really complex animations in Tvori, and I'm able to export, into some rendering software. I mostly use Marmoset Toolbag to render my scenes out, and I don't even think I would want to use motion capture now, because Tvori's organic inverse kinematic based animations for the characters is really unparalleled. You really need to check it out. It's not just me saying this. Well, we all know that some of this VR is still in its relative infancy. Tvori is a wonderful software and it's still growing. That's why I love it. I would love to have Tvori give me everything I need for production. But as we know, it's new and these guys are doing a wonderful job. But until then, I have to cross between different software. Like for my modeling, I primarily use Adobe Medium to create my characters and my landscapes and my props and my object vehicles and all that. And then I texture them in Substance Painter. I rig them in either Cinema 4D or Mixamo, and then I bring them into Tvori, which enables me to have my toys. I call them my toys, and I'm able to reenact and place and get my lighting. It's a beautiful process. So until Tvori hopefully will get to that stage where I don't need to go anywhere else, I have to cross between these different applications. The potential prospects I can see VR having for storytelling is almost, I can't name them all, but I will go ahead and say that nothing beats you telling a story from the perspective of the characters within the story. And I don't think there's any medium, non-VR, that can provide you with any of that. Tvori is a wonder, and I haven't personally met any of the developers, but I can only continually applaud their hard work. I mean, you cannot beat the feeling of going into an environment you created and observing all around everything you've made and seeing the characters from their perspective. Either you go into the shoes of the characters, or you're above their shoulders, or you're seeing them from what I would like to call a God vantage point, and you involve yourself. You are literally immersed in what you're doing. It's not really easy for those who are a bit discombobulated with the whole VR thing. But after a short while, once you get into it, you really see that it's very addictive. I'm totally sold. I don't think I can even go back to regular 2D animation. 2D medium animation. I can't do that. It's going to be tedious and boring. No shades to any of the software out there. There's a lot of beautiful software, but VR has spoiled me, and I would not change it for anything. Tvori leaves a lot of room for further upgrades. You can just say current limitations. Tvori, like I said initially, is a growing software, is a growing application. And there is a lot of room for a lot of innovations and additions. Those guys over there, they're wizards. I mean, they could literally make the software fly. For now, I just basically use Tvori primarily for scene composition and organic character animation, bipedal character animation. The drawbacks are things that can easily be worked on. Tvori is very powerful, more powerful than you know. I want to thank Tvori for coming into my life. I want to thank the universe for making me know such a wonderful piece of magical software. And I thank you guys for taking the time to give me this opportunity. With that being said, let me let you get back to what you do best, making magic. I'm out. This has been John Awakener. Check me out on Facebook.